Hey, what is going on, you guys? My name is Spideyco64, and welcome back, everybody, to yet another NASCAR 164 scale diecast review. I apologize for that. Had something in my throat. So, yeah. But anyways, though, here today, folks, we are going to be here to have a look at and review here today at Chase Briscoe's number 19 Pocono Bass Pro Shops Race to Win version. All right, so we have ourselves a Briscoe win in the house. First Chase Briscoe Cup race win in about, 4 years or so. 4 or 5 years, yeah, I think. I don't know. How long was 2022? Yeah, about like 4 years ago-ish. So there you go. So with that being said, let's not waste any more time and let's just get into the review. Here's a look at the packaging. Nothing different than normal. It's just the standard 164 scale box. So there you go. And here is a look at the die cast itself. Chase Briscoe's first of 3 wins in the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series season. He won Pocono, Darlington, and Talladega. Yeah. Kind of blanked there for a minute where he won, but this was one of the few big driver move changes that happened last year that, of course, obviously now we finally have the die cast of and all that good stuff and whatnot have you. Again, I've said this before, I don't pick up the standard edition diecast really much anymore, unless if it's like a personal favorite driver of mine, like Ross Chastain and such like that, and whatnot sort of have you. But really am glad to finally get the Chase Briscoe, one of Chase Briscoe's race wins from last year. I will be getting the Darlington one at the same time as well, so please look out for that. But to take a look, though, a closer look at the car itself here. In this race, Briscoe, of course, obviously had to hold off Denny Hamlin, a hard-charging Denny Hamlin, to win the Pocono 400 and all that good stuff. And we got ourselves the new Bass Pro car right here. And I gotta say, while I've said this on record again, I really typically think that the Bass Pro cars, the best ones, in all honesty, I do think is, like, especially if it's the main color, if it's black and orange, I think that's just great. That's just fantastic. And of course, I think white is also a good color here as well, because actually, funny enough, I do have several like Bass Pro shop cars here in a minute that we'll compare it here to. But this scheme, though, that Briscoe ran in 25, and I think he's also running this scheme in 26, I gotta say, I really like it a lot. And it really does remind me of Truex's 2023. It does remind me of Truex's 2023, Bass Pro car. I think a little bit, but that one had a lot more silver. And I have said this before, that I don't really typically like the Bass Pro cars that are just silver. Like, even my most controversial opinion, I think, is that I'm not a fan of Gregson's Bass Pro car from when he was in the O'Reilly series, which he probably will end up in O'Reilly probably by this time next year, so based on how he's doing in Cup. But anyways, though, you can see that there are some silver highlights on the car, a little bit here, some kind of circling or kind of going around the 19, the Bass Pro tracker right there. But for the most part, though, it's not the main color. And I do appreciate the camo parts on this car here as well. I think that's the problem I had with the Gregson one. It's just, yeah, it needs camo. That's probably the biggest issue that I had. But really do glad that the camo, really the orange, is the main part of this car. So that right there, I do like. Yeah, I really like this car, by the way. But let's not waste more time, and let's just get down to the sponsors. So, on the windshield banner, it does say Toyota and Briscoe. On the hood, it says Johnny Morris Bass Pro Shops, Toyota, 19, Sunoco Camry, JGR, Sunoco right there. Going down to this side, you got Goodyear, NASCAR Cup Series, number 19, Bass Pro Shops, Black Rifle Coffee, Mobile One, Tracker ATVs, Tracker ATVs, boats, True Timber Camo. You got the gas port right there. It says there, Chase Briscoe. It's hard to make out what that's. Yeah, Briscoe, and I have to assume that's the States of Indiana flag. I don't know what that logo is there right there. And then there's, what's this sponsor called? He ran in like an Xfinity car last year. And that sponsor, Lance or something like that. Lance Stroll. No, not Lance Stroll. It says Briscoe back there, but you could barely make it out on like in the front end. On the back here on the deck, you got Cabela's, and then you got a whole bunch of other sponsors like Mac Tools, Simeon, Sherman-Williams, Lincoln Welders. On the back of the car, it says Tracker Boats, Boats and ATVs, Bass Pro, Mobile One, Toyota 19. Same stuff. Yeah, I got the other side there. And here's another look at the car if you want to see that. Of course, obviously, you got that beautiful metal chassis and rubber tires. So that's really great. But now let's go ahead and get on to the race win damage. And this car is, it's not one of those fairly beat up race wins. And actually, for the most part, this car, it's just pretty much shit caked in confetti. So let's kind of go ahead and let's describe it. So you can see here on that the confetti covers the whole top of the car here. Yeah, it just covers the whole top right there. You can, of course, obviously can see some of the, yeah, it covers the hood a little bit, but you can still make out Bass Pro Shops. Got some on the splitter. Looking here, you do see a lot of dirt and grime right there, even for it being silver. So that does look very nice. I do like that. On the side here, you do have some more dirt and grime. You do, of course, obviously have the fire from the exhaust pipes. You got a little bit of some kind of, you can see some of the fuel kind of spilling out and all that good stuff. And I don't know if that's race win damage or if that's an actual paint chip. It is a paint chip. That's a paint chip. Okay, that's not good. Okay, Lionel. Lionel gonna Lionel, I guess. You do got some crinkle right here, down right there. Then, of course, obviously going down to this side here. You can also, of course, obviously you can see right here more of the fire from the exhaust ports, the crisp and all that good stuff. And then, of course, obviously you can see more right there. But yeah, a little bit, just very dirty, but not a very entirely beat up race win. This does have the double shark fins, and that's really kind of about it when it comes to this diecast here. Now, this was not the only diecast I got from K-State Diecast, which is affiliated with Circle B, by the way. And I did also get these. Ooh, look at these. I want to just kind of go ahead and just make a side comment here. I typically kind of don't show these full cars. And by the way, I'm not going to do a full review of these cars. I will do one on the race ones whenever they come out. But of course, obviously, this will be a part of the next batch reviews for these two separate series. But look at those boxes that they gave to Jesse Love and Corey Heim. Yeah, Corey Heim 1/64 scale. Very cool. Yeah, I really love these championship boxes right here that they gave both of them. Yeah, it says here, the champions of the series. Yeah, right there, back NASCAR. And yeah, look at that. They got the trophies. And yeah, if I'm a fan of Corey Heim and Jesse Love, I'd keep these in the box, not going to lie. But I am going to take them out of the box, so whoopsie daisy. But I'll probably mention that in the review, in those reviews. So there you go. But also, before we also kind of go ahead and end the video, I do want to show here the Martrix Jr. Bass Pro car. And yeah, that just looks cool. So we have here the past and the future for the Bass Pro cars. And I honestly kind of did thought that the Briscoe one was an inverse of this scheme, but you can see that it kind of is, but it kind of sort of isn't a little bit here. I don't know. I really love this Truex Bass Pro car, which, by the way, this one got very rare, so I'm very glad I picked this one up when I did. That's really good for sure. Can't say the same for the Cinnamon Toast Crunch car. God damn it! Didn't get that damn cereal car, man. Hey, spoiler diecast. Don't fail me now, bro. But with all that really kind of being said, though, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. That's a bit of a weird side rant that I had here, but just wanted to just say that, yeah, I made a pretty dumb mistake not buying the Cinnamon Toast Crunch car. I could have waited. I could have just waited off on the Sheldon Creed Ollie's car, but whatever. I don't know. But overall, though, really cool race one right here. This is not a car for the beat up race one damage fans. This is really kind of more for the confetti crowd. Like I said before, I mean, I really kind of don't mind it too much. But I do think, though, that it would have been cool if this car had a little bit more race one damage. But then again, this is Pocono. You're not going to get beat up sheet metal or anything like that unless you're driving an Indy car down there. So, certainly going to be, so yeah, this is really cool. And fun fact, guys, we are almost close to looking at all the race winners from last year. So we have this, and then there's the Austin Dillon Richmond win. That's the last driver to win a race from last year that we don't have yet. And that car is officially getting made. So that right there is also really cool. So, yeah. So, of course, obviously, guys, that's going to do it here for today's video. Don't know when the next review is going to be. I think might be on the Hamlin Yahoo car, which actually that's coming out at a perfect time considering that Hamlin just won yesterday at Vegas. So, at the time I'm recording this video. And I think there might be another Connor Zulich race win on my review. So, there you go. But anyways, though, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch all of you in the next one. See you all later.